You ever wonder why a magician on stage suddenly stops mid-trick and just stares at someone in the front row like a substitute teacher who heard a phone go off? That is not stage fright, that is a performer quietly enforcing a rule that got agreed on way before the curtain even went up. Here is the secret nobody tells you. Every performer who works with an event vendor sits down with the host before the show and basically negotiates a tiny contract about audience behavior. It sounds fancy, but it is really just answering one question. What happens if someone in the crowd acts up? Think of it like ordering a pizza and telling the shop no pineapple, except instead of toppings, you are setting limits on heckling, phone flashes, or drunk Uncle Gary trying to grab the microphone. The performer says, "Here's what I can work with," and the host says, "Got it, I will back you up if it happens." This conversation usually covers three things: noise level, physical space, and interruptions, because those three things ruin more shows than bad weather ever could. A comedian can survive a heckler, but a fire dancer cannot survive someone stepping into their circle, so the rules change depending on the act. Now here's where it gets like a video game with difficulty settings. Family-friendly events get an easy mode where performers are more patient, but late-night adult shows sometimes get a harder mode where the performer can call out bad behavior directly. The host and performer agree on which mode they are playing before anyone even shows up. You would think this is common sense, but a shocking number of shows fall apart because nobody had this conversation. It is like showing up to a group project with zero communication and then acting surprised when it flops. The event industry actually has a name for this step. They call it a pre-show briefing, and it is treated as seriously as a pilot doing a pre-flight checklist. Let us talk about the pause button, because every performer has one even if you never notice it. If a show is a car, the pause is the emergency brake, used when things get unsafe or disrespectful, not just annoying. A juggler might pause if someone throws something onto the stage, because that is a safety issue, not a comedy issue. A singer might pause if the crowd noise gets so loud that nobody 2 rows back can even hear the song, because now the whole audience is losing out because of a few people. Here's a fun fact that surprises people: performers are trained to give a polite warning first, almost like a video game boss fight giving you 1 health bar warning before the real attack starts. They will say something like, "Hey folks, let us bring the energy back," which is code for "please stop" or "I am stopping the show." If that warning gets ignored, most contracts actually give the performer permission to stop the act completely and let the host handle it. This protects the performer from being blamed later, kind of like a lifeguard blowing the whistle before jumping into rescue mode. People sometimes think this makes performers dramatic, but really it is the opposite. It is professionalism, like a pilot canceling a flight instead of risking a crash to save time. The whole point is protecting everyone in the room, including the people causing the disruption without even realizing it. History actually backs this up. Old vaudeville performers in the 1800s had something called the hook, a literal hook that pulled bad acts off stage, and that idea evolved into today's polite version, the verbal warning system. So next time you see a performer pause and smile awkwardly at the crowd, know that it is basically a modern hook without the drama. This is also why good event vendors insist on a written agreement, not just a friendly handshake, because memory is unreliable and stress makes people forget promises fast. A host might swear they will handle a rowdy group, but if it is not written down, the performer has zero backup when things go sideways. The real lesson here is not about magic tricks or comedy sets, it is about expectations, because most conflict in life comes from assumptions nobody said out loud. Whether you are running an event or just running your own day, saying the quiet part early saves everyone a headache later. So next time you are at an event and everything runs smoothly, know that somewhere behind the scenes, boring paperwork and awkward conversations made that magic possible. Do you want to learn more about how we help hosts and performers get this right? Check out our links in the description.